Hello, folks. I'm doing another video outside, enjoying a bit of a sunset. Today, we're going to look at the song "Three Little Birds" by Bob Marley. It's a very sweet song, and it's going to give us an opportunity to look at some different strumming patterns, some that we've kind of seen before, but maybe with a new twist. So I'm going to start off by playing through the song, and then we'll kind of talk about what I'm doing. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. So there's kind of a lot going on there. There are only three chords in this song, C, F, and G, but I was doing a lot with those chords, and we're going to break down all those things that I was doing. So the first thing that I'm doing there, before we even bother playing the chords, is the rhythm. I want to play my strums on beats 2 and 4 of every measure. So if we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just chunking right now. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just doing downstrokes on those two beats 2 and 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the fundamental rhythm that we want to get. The role of the guitar in reggae music is going to be this kind of harmonic percussion, where we're kind of acting like a snare drum when we're thinking of a traditional kind of drum pattern, or a traditional like rock and roll, pop, Western music drum pattern anyway. So the guitar is kind of acting like a snare, and we're kind of inserting the ukulele into the guitar's role in a traditional reggae combo. So we want to be on beats 2 and 4, and we're going to kind of build around that. So that's kind of our starting point. So let's take a look at the chords that we're using in this song. We've got C, we've got G, and we've got F. Now, we can use these open forms of the chords to play this song. If you look at the PDF you have, Three Little Birds strumming pattern, you'll see that I have this written out. Now, the chords are drawn in on beats 2 and 4. And on beats 1 and 3, I have these little symbols in there. And if you're not familiar with standard notation, those represent a rest, or a period of silence. These are all quarter rests, so it's one beat of rest. So beat 1 is silent, we play beat 2. Beat 3 is silent, we play beat 4. Let's see what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might notice, if you're watching my hands before, you might notice that that's not how I was playing it, and there's a reason for that. When I'm playing these open strings, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. My right hand in this case has an extra task of muting those strings to create those rests. I could be doing the same thing with my left hand and covering them up with my fingers, stopping those strings from ringing out. I could do that over here as well. But there is a better way of going about it, and that is using movable chord shapes, so avoiding those open strings. So we're learning a new way to play some of these chords. The C chord we're playing looks like this, and I'm using a low G here, but it's the same chord shape for re-entrant tuning. And my index finger is barred across the 3rd fret of all of my strings. I barred across all of my strings. I only have to cover up these two right here, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I'm covering up all of my strings with my pointer finger. I put my ring finger on the 5th fret of the G, and my middle finger is going on the 4th fret of the C. So like this. So if I'm counting off of my fret numbers, I've got 5, 4, 3, 3 from G to A, like that. I only need to hold down these 2 frets with my index finger, but barring across all of the strings gives a little bit of extra support to these fingers here, and it'll also help me transition nicely to some other chords that I might be playing. What's the benefit of this? Well, all I have to do to mute this chord now, after I strum, is just relax my fingers. No extra work has to be done with my right hand or with my left hand fingers. I can just stay right on that chord, and if I relax my fingers, the chord stops. And the chord stops completely because my fingers, by relaxing them, I'm not pushing down on the frets anymore, stops those strings from vibrating. So it's that easy. And that's going to free up my right hand to do some other stuff a little bit later. But before we get there, let's look at a couple more of these chord shapes. We've only got 2 more to look at. We'll take a look at the G here. So I was on the 3rd fret with my C. Play this G, my index finger is barring the 2nd fret now. My ring finger has moved to the 4th fret of the G, and my middle finger is now on the 3rd fret of the E string, like so. So if I'm naming off the fret numbers from G to A, I have 4, 2, 3, 2. Now, this chord shape is very, very close to the G chord that you already know and love. It's like this one right here, just with the 4th fret of the G rather than the open string. And of course, this is kind of an awkward way to play it, stretching your pinky out like that. It can be done, but this, I'm sure, will be a lot more comfortable for you. And finally, we have the F. This is probably the trickiest shape of them all, because what I'm doing here, see, it's really tricky to get, where I am barring the 5th fret of the G, C, and E strings with my ring finger, and I am merely pushing down on the 3rd fret of the A string with my index finger. and I get that sound. So it's a tough one to get because you have to bend your ring finger in such a way that it's not touching the A string, and when you're hearing that buzzing, it's usually because my ring finger is kind of touching that A string and preventing it from ringing out nicely and neatly. So there is another way to play this. It's a little bit more work in getting your fingers organized, but it is like this, where I've still got my index finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, but now I am holding the 5th frets of the G, C, and E with my middle, ring, and pinky fingers. Now, it's very likely that this will give you a much cleaner chord, but it is going to take a little bit more time for your fingers to get arranged and smushed in there, right? So play around with those shapes and see what is going to work best for you. I think one of the things that I will tend to do is using this chord shape, frequently only hitting the G, C, and E strings. I will just aim for these 3 strings, and you're gonna get by just fine. So with these movable chord shapes that we have now, we can very easily mute all of those chords as we're playing through the song. So starting where it says movable chords on the Three Little Birds strumming pattern PDF, it's measure 9. And we start off with C, and this is the verse section of Three Little Birds. So it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. All right, so that made it much easier for me to mute all those chords, and that's going to let my right hand do some more stuff. The first element of the new stuff that I could do is, instead of just playing a quarter note on beats 2 and beats 4, I could play a pair of 8th notes. I could do a down up on those. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So 1, down up, 3, down up, 1, down up, 3, down up. And we can play those as straight 8th notes, so that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or we could give it a little bit of swing, like a bluesy kind of feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. So sounds something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Using that swing feel is going to give you a more relaxed feel for the song, which is very fitting for this particular song. You can hear that kind of laid-back vibe in Three Little Birds. Right, now, the last thing that I was doing in this song was, which is not written on the PDF that you have, is I was also throwing in an extra groove with my right hand. So I was kind of keeping a lot of most of those beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, in there with my right hand, but I was still muting those chords in the appropriate places. What that does is it lends a overall percussive element to the entire song, to your entire part. So rather than dropping out completely, you're still adding a little rhythmic element to the song, which can be really cool. I'll do the first chorus here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Now that was, again, giving that extra groove, especially when I'm playing this song by myself. I'm able to add a little bit more groove to the song in those spaces where there is nothing else going on. So those are just some little tips to help you play this song with that kind of reggae feel. Obviously, there's a lot more to reggae than what I showed you in this video. So in addition to Bob Marley's version of Three Little Birds, I've also included links to guitarists Tough Lion and Steve Golding, who share their thoughts on the fundamentals of the genre. So if you're interested in exploring reggae further, that's going to be a fantastic place to start. As you can see, it is getting a little bit dark here, so I think we're going to wrap things up, and I will play us out with a little more of the song. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again next Friday. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile at the rising sun. Three little birds perch by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds perched by my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true. Sing, this is my message to you.